It's Friday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hi, Tope, how are you?
Very good. Usually, 25th is when I start arranging my books. But because this month ends on the 28th, 25th is actually when I should be arranging it. So this morning just occurred to me that I don't actually have 5 days to month end. I have just 3 days to end of the month. This is salary week. This is pay back everybody week and all of that, and I'm really grateful to God. Yes, his salary is really to pay for.
Are you fainting already?
And I'm really, really grateful to God. You know, God has just been so faithful. Just when you need it, the money just shows up, and I'm really, really grateful to God for that. And I think I need to keep on saying it, that you prophesy that God will always show up at the time, that you will never be left stranded, you know. So I'm grateful.
Good, good, good. How are you doing, Mario?
I'm good. Today, on my way to work, I saw something that I was worried about, and I think we should pay attention. There was a learner. She was driving, and she had tiny babies in the car, and one of her little kids was sitting in front as well. So she's a learner. She's by herself. She's driving. You know, she was taking her time to drive, and she had a child in front. The reason why they tell us not to put children in front is in case of any impact, that child will be badly affected, unlike an adult. And even if you do have airbags, the airbags is likely to suffocate a child that is small. So please, for our own good, for the lives of our family members, let's take safety seriously.
No child should be in front.
Her. I'm sure they probably never told her. She never knew because she's a learner. She wasn't just drive for the first time. Somebody should have told her, you don't put children in front. How are you doing, Obiajulu?
I'm doing fine.
Love your hair.
You love your hair.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I just decided to color the hair. I'm always used to coloring my hair, but for a while now, I felt, okay, let me just leave the dark hair like that. So now I've gone back to the BC that I used to be. The color, I change colors so often. So get ready. The crazy BC is coming out. It's too short for somebody to just
it's
coming out.
The crazy BC has always been out. Has always been out. We've seen you before.
I took a break. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This morning.
It was very last minute this morning. It's all good.
It's good.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we'll start with the nation. Lawmakers seek power to invite presidents and governors. El Rufai, resources in terrorist hands can subvert Nigeria. Al-Makura, 2 others reject APC zoning consensus. Oyo government seals Premier Hotel. 2 policemen, 5 others killed in multiple attacks on banks. 7 SANs, 16 others applied to be Supreme Court justices. Okay, which story are we starting with? The nation?
Armed robbers yesterday evening attacked 4 commercial banks in Uromi, Ishan Northeast Council of Edo State. They killed 7 persons and made away with unspecified amount of money. So I think 2 policemen and 5 civilians were killed. They said it was a coordinated attack. They planned it so well that there was no security operative who was able to withstand them. And they went into these banks, blew up with dynamite, and made their way in. So they kept shooting and shooting and shooting, and this operation lasted for about 3 hours. They said one of the banks was very close to a police station, and for that 3 hours, no policeman was seen around to deter them. So they made away with the money. They came with a lot of SUVs. I think they packed the money in one of the silver SUVs, and that was how they left. So the police spokesman has confirmed the death of the men, and so far we haven't heard anything. So I hope that they will start, chasing after them, investigation, so that they can hold them. It was really, I saw a viral video on social media, and it seems like there were more than just that 7 people that died.
All right, so the major head, you want to take another story?
Yes, at the weekly ministerial briefing organized by the presidential media team at the presidential villa in Abuja, the governor of Kaduna State, you're talking about terrorism, banditry, insurgency in Nigeria. He says that even though, he says in Kaduna,
while 937 were killed, 1,972 kidnapped by bandits in 2020. A total of 1,192 have been killed and 3,348 people kidnapped just last year. He says that terrorism, especially those involved in banditry and kidnapping, have adapted their crime in such a way that it's now just for business. You know, they have turnovers, and some of these, which is better for them than the cattle breeding that they were, you know, they used to do. So they have left their legitimate cattle breeding to go into banditry. And there have been sources that, you know, investigation have shown that some of this money is gotten from the kidnapping is used to now finance insurgencies, Boko Haram in other parts of the country. He says that also the way that the governors have tried to solve the issue is that some of them thought that they could negotiate with these bandits, but they have seen that it was a mistake because these people cannot be trusted. Also, he said that there's likelihood that there are traitors, you know, within us. That means people that are in the military and the police who may be conniving with people like these, you know, and that's why this problem is so widespread. And just asking, you know, for different ways to handle this and better strategies.
All right, I was going to take the major headline, which is just still reviewing the constitutional review that we're talking about. Remember, they're going to vote on it by Tuesday, but the nation was just picking out a few things they'll be voting on, one of which is the tough conditions for independent candidacy. They're going to, according to this new revision, they'll require 20% of signatures of registered voters. I don't know how they're going to get that, but those are tough conditions for independent candidacy. And they're also saying that they're reviewing the fact that lawmakers can actually summon the president and also the House of Senate can summon the governor to come and answer questions on issues of national security and others. So this is still reminding Nigerians of how important these next few days are, and we need to pressure our lawmakers to vote right. We
need to be aware of the far-reaching impacts of what's going on. There's a short story about, you know, your state, the shutdown of Premier Hotel, apparently because of environmental. They said for environmental reasons they broke environmental laws. They shut down Premier Hotel, they shut down an event center and 8 shops. I'm excited that we are paying attention to implementation of the laws so that people would be deterred from disobeying environmental laws. This is the only word we have.
The punch. Russia, Ukraine was stranded. Nigeria sent SOS to Buhari and demand evacuation. Bring back Nigerians in Ukraine, reps tell president. Pregnant housewife fakes kidnap, buys house with ransom from Facebook lover. Police arrest Ogun housewife who killed husband with hot water. Mob stones Lagos task force lynches officer for impounding motorcycles. I won't exceed 2023, I swore by the Quran, says Buhari. Oyo may produce APC National Secretary Governor's Plan meeting. Buhari, ignorance of Southwest infrastructure problem, says Afenifere. APC discusses zoning presidency to South, says El Rufai. And Nigeria loses 10.6% of value annually, says IMF. Okay, let's start.
The story.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you people help us to hear this. A lady, a 25-year-old woman, Jamila Ardo, has been arrested and remanded for allegedly kidnapping herself. So she is a married woman from Adamawa State and got into this relationship with this man in Abuja. He thought she was single. She never, divulged that she was married, and they carried on a relationship. And they said the relationship took them, I think, a year. And then one day he gets a call to say that she had been kidnapped, and a ransom of 2 million naira was to be paid into an account. He did that, but he said he became suspicious after, the ransom was paid. She came to say, yes, so she had been freed. And so he filed a complaint at the police station, and that's when investigation started. Her own husband, because when she got the 2 million naira, she now used it to buy a house. Her husband had asked her, Madam, where did you get this money from? She said, her relative sent her this money. So that's how investigation started. He found that she abducted herself, collected ransom, she and a friend, and now she's going to answer. Facebook.
People are thinking.
People are.
They're very creative. I mean, this is a
They can be creative for negativity. That same creativity can be deployed positively to develop, to make the money they're looking for.
Wow.
Let me take the major headlines. So we all know about the Russian invasion into Ukraine yesterday morning by the early hours, 5 a.m. yesterday. Actually, I think she's the acting president. Her name is Eunice Eliaka, wrote an SOS to the president to remove and evacuate all Nigerian citizens, especially those students who are schooling in Ukraine, as soon as possible. And she said she's in Nigeria, and I think according to her story, they got feels of the fact that there might be an invasion. So she told her parents about 2 weeks earlier. They sent her tickets, and she left the country. But she was now saying that many people didn't adhere to that. They didn't move out because of the expense of the tickets. It was quite expensive for them to move. They're asking the president to please plan, just like India did, move some of their citizens into Poland and then en route to get them out of India, out of Ukraine. But we know that the Minister of Foreign Affairs have also said they're definitely working hard to get, as soon as they can get an airport, which is willing to let their planes land, to evacuate Nigeria. So they're working hard to see where. It's not all parts of Ukraine that's gotten invasion yet. Yeah. There are some Nigerians who are living in certain parts of Ukraine, I think it's the western part of Ukraine, that are still safe, relatively safe, but it might be a good idea to begin to think of evacuating as soon as possible. So, and we're going to talk to some of our guests later on this matter. So let's move on to another story.
Yes, a paramilitary officer attached to the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit Task Force, Monday John, was killed during an attack on the agency around Kara Bridge, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. So they had a raid of all these motorcycle people, motorcyclists plying the highway, and they seized some of their motorcycles, loaded it and headed to another area, I think around Bega, to continue the raid. So the motorcyclists were not having it. They mobilized themselves, took a bus and chased them down. When they got there, they started fighting the security officials, stoning them with wood and everything. And so while those ones were running away, they left one behind, and the mob attacked this man and killed him. Now threw him in a river. Whoa! This is because we are becoming animals. We are becoming animals. I don't know how else governments can, keep laws and enforce the laws. They are saying they don't want bikes here, and I know it's for a reason. So now that they are seizing the bikes, isn't it like, shouldn't we have like an appeal? Okay, even if you don't want us to ride these bikes here, give us our bikes back. We'll go somewhere else. Why do you have to resort to killing a human being and throwing him away? It's I don't know.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go on to other stories. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy East Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News. The
Daily Sun. 2023 businessmen to buy form for Shimbajo Mefele under pressure. How gunmen killed policemen, 8 others in Enugu. Will reclaim PDP mandate, Ihe Dioha assures Imo people. Soldiers killed 139 terrorists, kidnappers, bandits in 2 weeks, says Defense Headquarters. Afenifere hits Buhari over trekking from Lagos to Ibadan. 1.9 people living with HIV in Nigeria, says Nigeria BUCAA. And Okwebi plane crash aircraft didn't have sufficient fuel to destination, AIB investigation reveals. Okay, which story are we taking?
The Nigerian Business Coalition Against AIDS, NIBUCA, has raised the alarm that 1.9 million Nigerians were living with the human immune virus, that's HIV, and they are calling for more testing kits and increased education and awareness to stem the spread of the disease. They said out of that 1.6 million, he said out of the figure, only 1.6 million were receiving treatment, and as at 2019, 53,000 people had died from HIV AIDS-related disease. He also said that many Nigerians do not know their HIV status, which also increases further transmission of that disease. So they had a capacity building and awareness on HIV testing yesterday, where they reeled out all of these numbers. And according to the International Labour Organization, which actually organized the event. They are saying that we need to carry out more testings, we need to create more awareness, because it seems like everybody is carried away with COVID-19. Nobody is really paying attention to HIV/AIDS. I've never really done till like 2 months ago, where I did it for some biometrics, and they said, okay, we're going to do all the tests. That was the first time I was doing HIV/AIDS with all the shouting.
You must have also done it when you were pregnant.
I didn't know. I didn't pay attention. But we need to know our status and curb the spread.
So if you recall the Okpebi plane crash, remember that helicopter, the Bell 206 helicopter 5NBQW, which went down in Okpebi, Lagos a few years ago. So the Accident Investigation Bureau of Nigeria have come out to say that what happened was that it didn't have sufficient fuel to reach its destination, and the pilot just felt that it could just manage to get there, and unfortunately it went down. So it should have actually had an emergency landing the moment he noticed that his fuel was actually low. Well, maybe he felt that he could just still manage to get to the airport, and that's what happened. So he was saying that going forward, the Nigerian Civil Aviation should ensure that operator certificates are issued, and those who wish to combine the flight duty with multiple posts must ensure the operations they have some kind of safety mitigation measures to ensure this doesn't happen again.
We like to play with our lives in this part of the world.
That's what we've heard so far concerning the story.
Any other story you want to take?
Yeah, I wanted to take the president. So on Tuesday, we heard the president talk about that Nigeria would, people would have been trekking from Lagos to Ibadan if they hadn't done the intervention of the rail and improving the roads. And the Afenifere public secretary, Mr. Jare Ajayi in Ibadan, responded to that and saying that was, let me use his word, height of unpardonable exaggeration. That the fact that people still, there are not as many people using the train as compared to the road, and that there are many other areas in the southwest that don't have train and people are not trekking. And he mentioned the fact that it should deal with the other issues, major issues, the fact that the economy is shrinking, the agriculture, the comatose agricultural practices due to largely terrorism and their terroristic activities, issues of politics, that there are many issues. He just found this unpardonably exaggerated statement.
Moving on quick to Vanguard. Why military is reluctant to wipe out bandits, says El-Rufai. Eco Bridge, Lagos government diverts traffic for 6 months. Mafa finally pays $273 million license fee. Raises hope of the 5G deployment. 2023, I'm fit to rule Nigeria, says Tinubu. AIB blames Quorum helicopter crash on insufficient fuel. 2 policemen, 5 others killed as robbers raid 4 banks in Edo. An FG to evacuate Nigerians from Ukraine, says Onyema. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Starting from Saturday, the 5th of March 2022, the Eco Bridge is going to be closed and traffic will be diverted while that area is getting fixed. It's a comprehensive repair work from Alaka Agbogbon Axis, and the statement was released by Dr. Frederick Oladeinde, the Commissioner for Transportation in Lagos. I know, Mariam, there's no way she won't be affected by this because that's her zone. Everybody within that area should just be aware that it will probably take a longer time for you to do what you usually would have done in a shorter time anyway. And we know it's for the best. Lagos is undergoing major construction work that is undeniable and would have to bear with the inconvenience that's
going to cost us.
Yeah. Just that there's also blockage on the other side, like the Yaba side and everything. It would be nice if one side was done. So now we'll be blocked on that side and on
the other side. Wow.
Abba Kyari. So the Federal Court sitting in Abuja has ordered NDLA to respond within 48 hours to an application by Abba Kyari's team. And he's asking for bail, to be released on bail on health grounds. And also he said that he asked for that, and then other things he asked for. He said, among other things, praying the court to order the federal government to pay him 500 million naira and also tender a written apology to him in 2 national dailies for the unlawful violation of his fundamental human rights. He's also praying the court for a declaration that arrest and continued detention of Abakari by NDLEA without bringing him before a court of competent jurisdiction since the 12th is illegal and unlawful and a gross violation of the applicant's fundamental human rights. There's so many other things that he says that he's being that the torture, degrading, and inhuman treatment given to the applicant is unlawful, and just so many other things. It's very interesting. Police officers, they understand the law, they understand it very well. Many times when Nigerians are caught up in things like this, where they are locked up against, not following the lawful or legal, sometimes say, oh, they're not properly trained, they don't know. But they know when it comes to them, they will list everything, that is in the law. So we hope that this thing is done neatly and cleanly. I want NDLEA to do it in such a way that this case is not thrown out.
There's a sad story here. A 39-year-old visually impaired woman, Mrs. Abidemi Sanyolu, is lamenting the death of her 14-year-old son. This happened on November 4, 2021. The boy who just got admission to get into secondary school, and he was on midterm. So what she usually does is, when the boy is on midterm, he has to learn a trade. So he was with one of the mechanics to learn how to repair tires. When all of a sudden, she started hearing noises. People were running helter-skelter. But this boy, when he's on midterm, helps her around movement in the house. So she was already happy that my son is on midterm and everything. And then the husband came in, was crying. He didn't tell her anything. She had to call the pastor. The pastor, finally, they told her that if a policeman had an issue with motorcyclists again, they were dragging 100 naira. And all of a sudden, police started shooting.
I think I remember.
And while people were running helter-skelter, this boy was hit by a bullet. He went through the back and came out, from the stomach. Everything was scattered on the floor. She said till now, the police has not come to give an apology. They have not done anything for her. In fact, the only time the DSP called her was to tell her to drop the case. So she's really asking that she gets justice. The boy is still in the mortuary till date. And they have filed a 1 billion suit before an Ikeja High Court of Lagos to demand justice for 14-year-old Mubarak killed by police admiral. I think people need to, follow this case.
A 14-year-old child and some police officer, just because of his recklessness, shoots him dead and nobody says anything.
Nobody says anything.
In this country.
It's unfair. We need to take this up.
That's all we can take. In fact, that story just depressed me. That's all we can take. See you after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
Ọkọ̀ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùn àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùn mọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that...
Thanks for staying with us. So Russia's invasion to Ukraine has been on the lips of everyone around the world. Now, a major concern is the plight of Nigerians living in Ukraine. At this point, we need to know what plans the federal government have right now to bring our children home. Another issue at hand is the diplomatic relationship we have with Russia and also with other NATO, United Nations countries, US, China, Europe, and others. So we're having in the studio with us Associate Professor, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor F.M. Ubi, who will be talking to us about how we can maintain diplomatic relations across these countries, especially Russia and Ukraine. And then we're going to be discussing with Ms. Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, the Chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, to tell us how they plan to bring these children home as soon as possible. Welcome to the show, madam and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let me start with Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa. Obviously, every family that have children abroad right now are worried about their wards who live in Ukraine especially. We know there have been issues going on recently on how to bring children home, but how do you plan to bring them home in the next 48 hours as soon as possible so their families can see them? Honorable Abike Dabiri, are you there? I think she's not there yet. Let me come to Professor. Professor, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let me start with you since we don't have... Okay. Now, these obviously are difficult times for a country like Nigeria. We do have relationships with Ukraine and Russia simultaneously. How do you think Nigeria should handle this at this moment? Should we completely ignore or begin to see how we can work on both countries to resolve this perennial issue that's been happening in that region?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think it is important that we don't ignore and we don't also take sides. You see, Nigeria has to play a very high diplomatic role in this regard. In any case, one thing you have to understand that when there's an international conflict, when there's conflict in the international system, irrespective of where this conflict is, it has a precipitation effect on many countries across the globe, whether it's countries within the region or outside the region or outside the continent. This conflict must always have that precipitation effect. It could be in economic terms. It could also be in diplomatic terms and military terms. But in this regard, I think Nigeria, being a peaceful country that we are, I think we have to talk to the two nations, to embrace dialogue instead of a continuation with this war, which some people refer to as aggression. I think there's bound to, but it is important that these countries dialogue, and see how these issues that is between them could be resolved amicably. In international politics, it is much more, advantageous, to cooperate than to be in conflict. I think this is where it's going to be, very necessary that dialogue takes place, diplomatic dialogue takes place.
Right.
Aside that, I want to say, yeah.
So, Professor, you said
Hello?
we should not take sides.
Yeah.
You have said we should not take sides. Is it possible in the light of things not to take sides? That's one. Then secondly, what do you think is the root cause of this invasion? And could it have been avoided?
Yes, it could have been avoided if the two countries had embraced dialogue and had embraced peaceful means towards the settlement of whatever issues that was. But in any case, there have been a whole lot of speculations put forward by analysts and put forward by a lot of other countries, those who are taking sides, with regards to the invasion. You see, normally in every dispute, the disputing parties have reasons for the conflict. It has been speculated that Russia wants to assert its bigger ambition in Europe. And in any ways, that is not in favor of the EU, that's in favor of the United States, and neither is in favor of Ukraine. Now, the other speculation that the Ukraine determination is to pursue the Euro-Atlantic integration and reforms, which again is anti-Russian position within Europe, and taking into consideration the nearness of Ukraine to Russia. Now, what you also have to understand when it has to do with nations at war, contiguity is a very big reason why nations go to war. Proximity too is also another big reason why nations goes to war. But other issues like territorial issues will also be taken into consideration. And this is exactly what is actually creating the crisis in Eastern Europe between Ukraine and Russia. Now, it is also thought that Ukraine is aligning its political and economic its economic and political and economic consideration towards Europe. Now it is also seen that it does not survive on Russian energy. Ukraine now export goes to mostly China and the EU. And in that case, it hurts the Russian economy. I think there are a whole lot of reasons we could give. Okay. Aside that, you can also look at the historical Russia analysis that Putin has actually talked about, where there's this obsession with a great power status, meaning that he must gather all Russian land, which has to do with Belarus and other countries within Eastern Europe and Ukraine itself and all that. So I think this is all what is actually causing this crisis.
Okay, let me pause you for a second.
Let me not just forget this particular point. One of the major issues is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, which Ukraine is envisaged, wants to be a member, which is also causing the security dilemma within that region.
All right, thank you very much for giving us some insight, because the average Nigerian is totally confused on what's happening within Russia and Ukraine. They're just hearing that Nigerians are over there and they're asking everybody to bring them home. So I have with us right now Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, who's going to be telling us what the government is doing so far. We hear they want to evacuate, but if they have started evacuating, the plans exactly to get them out is what we want clarity on. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning. How are you this morning?
Very well. Kindly give us an update on this evacuation that is planned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes, as we've heard from the minister, there are plans to evacuate Nigerians in Ukraine. Now, the majority are students. Out of the almost 7,000, more than half, almost 76% are students. So the airspace is currently closed. So as soon as the airspace is open, but the plans are going on, the exact details will not be briefed by the minister with the exact details. So, but the preliminaries are going on. But the key thing is this. On January 26th, the mission told Nigerians in Ukraine to register with the mission because this may happen. So I just hope that all the residents there, particularly students, have already registered with the mission. Because once they've registered, the mission will communicate with them. There are 5 airports in Ukraine. So they'll select which ones will be the likely ones for evacuation. But we're in touch with the student community, but a lot of them are beginning to go towards Moldova, Poland. So some are migrated to these areas and then they communicate themselves. But what the Nigerian mission also said is please stay safe. And when people say the Nigerian mission said you're on your own, what they said was take care of their personal security. For instance, in one situation, don't go walking the street or go shopping or go do something. Be wary of your environment and try and take care of your personal security. So yes, everything will be done to evacuate, particularly our students in Ukraine that are majority of those.
Okay, let me get a few more questions in for you. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay. Ma'am, so we hear that for those of them who are, we are in Nigeria, we don't really understand the geography there. But they say there are those in the eastern part of Ukraine where most of the, where the initial invasion has taken place. And what we hear from some of the Nigerian students living there is that they can't go out to get food, they can't use their ATM to withdraw money, and they seem to be, and they don't seem to be getting any information on what to do next. Apart from saying keep their heads down, most of the questions I hear coming from that side is, if the airports reopen, which of the airports will be available? Where do they need to go so that they can join the airplane or those that will be evacuated? Will they be moved from the east to the west? Where do they need to stay to be safe where they are right now?
Those, like I said, those are all the things that are being arranged now. And every Nigerian in Ukraine has been told to register with the mission. I can send the information to you. I don't know whether I can get it now. But there are helplines, there are phone lines, there are emails, and there's communication between the mission and the students. In fact, there are national resources number out there. Parents have been communicating, students have been communicating. Right now, some called me and said they are still getting food, water, electricity, but it may soon run out. It may soon run out. So everybody is watching the situation unfold. Like I said, some of that part of the region, found their way out, but we still have a lot of them there. So all that information will be communicated as soon as all arrangements are made. We also have to wait for Ukraine to, open up the airspace, but all the preliminary are being done. So it will be any of the 5 airports, maybe even all the 5 airports, if possible. So they should also ensure that they are registered with the mission. There will be contact information, constant communication that the mission will put out there, and we will help disseminate. So we are concerned about all of them. All of us are students in Ukraine or relatives or something.
Right.
So it's a worry for all of us. But they have students associations, the groups, they form WhatsApp groups, and we're all communicating with them. In fact, two just spoke with me now, and what they said, well, we still have water, we still have food, we still have electricity, but we don't know for how long.
Okay. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our two guests in the studio, Associate Professor, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Ethem Ubi, and Mrs. Honorable Abike Dabiri, who is the Chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Yes, Doctor had a question.
So, Honorable, when Nigerians here, we're working on it, we're processing it, we're seeing how to make it work, sadly, many Nigerians don't believe anything is being done. Sort of history, the fact that we've heard many people say things and it never truly pans out. But what I'd like to ask you, Ma, is have you spoken to the Nigerian consulate in the Nigerian embassy in Ukraine? Have you spoken to anyone directly, personally, that you can say, this is the feeler you're getting from them? What are you hearing from them, and how would you communicate that hope directly to those watching who are family members in Ukraine and are trying to get information, and it seems to be very slow getting across to them?
Well, I hope I got you right. The line is a bit clear, but that is it. If you do not, if I'm in a place and you don't come to me, how do I know you're there? And one of the things we tell Nigerians, particularly students, and I keep repeating this, when you get to the country, just register your presence. If you tell me they don't answer you, it's another thing, but register your presence. So we have almost 7,000 Nigerians in Ukraine, like I told you, and more than half of them are students. So, and I've sent you something, I hope you are projective, lines, the mission, and where to go to register. Maybe that will help a lot of these things. So, a lot of Nigerians don't even show up at the mission, so they don't even know you're there. But when there's a crisis, then we start calling on the mission. So this is an opportunity to tell Nigerians, particularly students, please, when you get to a country, you're a student, just show up there. My name is Sophia. There's a registration thing. In fact, we now have a registration portal that we've set up on our website, so you can also register there.
Right.
So it's important to know where you are and what you're doing. Please, it's very important. So that's all. But for now, there's an information for everybody. Just let them know where you are, what you're doing, and they'll communicate with you. And then they're also working with the Students Association. And the Students Association said it's not even everybody that's even registered with them. So it's just something that we have to...
All right, let me come to the professor. Professor, in a time of war, what would you advise people, especially non-citizens of a country, to do? Yes, we're trying to alert the embassy that we're here, but people are scared. There's some are saying certain areas are safer than others. Some are saying they're not ready to evacuate. They'd rather just stay low. What would you advise as a professor in this regard? What do you, in time of war, what would you tell parents to do? How best should they react to what is going on right now in Ukraine? Did you all just come on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly, sir.
I think, yes, I think parents should just remain calm and don't get too worried about what's the situation there, you know. But I think the most advisable thing to do for citizens who are not part of that country is for you to seek refuge, you know. The Honorable has said, you know, there should be a way to connect with the embassy, you know, and try to see how they could rally around, you know, to protect the citizens of their country, and most precisely now, our country, you know. I think they should also avoid areas of bombardment, you know. They shouldn't just run helter-skelter, you know. Sometimes, you know, collateral damage could come in, you know, when you don't know, you know, where the ammunitions, the bombings and the shootings are coming from. I think it's about something that, you know, you have to remain calm, you know. I'm sure, you know, the ministry and our commission, they are doing a whole lot to get access to our citizens who are there. Right now, I think it's only China that has been able to, and in short, what China has done was to ask their citizens to communicate with the embassy, and, you know, so that they go register for evacuation. I think this is what every country will be doing right now. We are all concerned that we have citizens there, and what is happening, is not supposed to be if diplomatic means were taken into consideration.
Okay.
Okay, Mrs. Abike, we hear that it's like the airspace is shut and no country would likely be able to evacuate now. What other options are you considering on how you can get Nigerians out of Ukraine? And also, there would likely be, or there's a possibility that there will be a reprisal attack from Russia. Are you also making plans in case of eventuality if it goes to Russia for Nigerians?
Repeat your question, I'm sorry.
Okay, I said, we hear that there are no, they've shot, okay, the last part is there may likely be a reprisal attack. So this is like a war going on here. Is there any plan for people in Russia, Nigerians in Russia, to be protected in case this happens so that we are not reactive instead of being proactive?
Yeah, I think that the ambassador is also communicating with Nigerians in Russia and telling them what the Nigerian mission in Ukraine had also told them years ago, that also be prepared, stay safe, stay in particularly places, take refuge, because these things are unpredictable. They are really unpredictable. So again, the Nigerian mission has been doing that in Russia, communicating. There's a very strong association in Russia too. So the communication is ongoing. And in terms of, yes, no country really has evacuated its citizens. So everybody's just planning, whether it's China, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's everybody's just planning and see what happens immediately the airspace is open. So it's the same message, and as the professor said, just, it's an emotional trauma. It's traumatic. I couldn't sleep all yesterday. Parents, and I've been telling them what to do, and it's really a traumatic thing. So just the keyword is to take out whatever you find yourself. But like I said earlier, some have moved to Poland, some have moved to Moldova, and they got there successfully.
All right.
But do that only if you're sure you're safe.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is to the professor, just, talking about diplomatic relations. Many other countries are able to, come out and talk about sanctions. Does Nigeria have the moral, the power, the authority to talk about sanctions, since we're dealing with insurgency right within our shores and it seems like it's overpowering us? And the fact that we depend on Russia for, other relations, what sort of authority or power would we have, or moral justification will we have to come out to, condemn what's happening, or show or sanction or show allegiance to any country right now, to both countries right now?
First, before I answer your question, I want to correct an impression. Right now, there's ongoing war, and there's been reprisal attacks. As the Russians are bombarding Ukraine, are also bombarding. I think they brought down 6 planes, Russian planes, and all that. Other amenities. I think each of them are bombing each other. Now, to come to your question, I wouldn't want us to be talking about what moral justification or what moral rights we have or what powers we have. Right now, Nigeria, knowing the country that we come from, it's a peace-loving country. We shouldn't be talking about sanctions. We should be talking about dialogue. We should be talking about peaceful means to end this crisis, in Eastern Europe. And much more importantly, we have diplomatic relationship with Russia. We also have diplomatic relationship with Ukraine. And so we cannot decide to choose a particular country over the other. Now, taking into consideration, again, that the fact that we don't have proximity with these countries, neither do we have contiguity with these countries. And so we will not be talking about sanctions when the war is not affecting us directly. Not that it doesn't affect us indirectly. Right. Now, some people, I think we've not really talked about the impact of this war globally. Everybody's going to suffer from it. If right now the price of oil has skyrocketed to $100 and something, this is actually part of the war. Now, so a lot of persons will be affected, economics will be affected, and Russia itself too, knowing that it will be affected, it doesn't want to get hurt because it's also part of the global economy. And so I think we should be looking for ways to remedy the crisis within that region than to look for sites and to take sites.
All right, sir. We have to wrap up on this. Thank you very much, Professor. I mean, we're probably still going to be monitoring this story and probably take it, be able to review it properly, maybe in the coming days. this is just an initial conversation to even understand what is going on, because the average Nigerian, as you said, we're very far from this conflict and we don't really have good information. But we'll continue to bring information to the average Nigerian on what's going on in Ukraine, and especially their loved ones who live in that region. Thank you very much, our two guests, Professor, for joining us. Thank you, Honorable Abikadabi Erewa, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your thoughts. Let me just try to reiterate what you had said. What the Honorable has said is that no country so far has evacuated because obviously the airspaces have been closed. However, most countries are planning and doing everything they can to begin to register, get the citizens to register first, know where you are, stay low. We're going to get to you. Once the airspace is open, we'll come to you. And some countries are going through Poland and other countries, but what they're saying is that Nigerians, we know where you are, you've registered with us, and we're working to evacuate you as soon as possible. I'm sure that's what she said. Let's go on a break. When we come back, it's Friday, as a Celebrity Friday. Goodness, that's about time we have some celebrity gist. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we bring in our celebrity guest, there's another story that really caught our attention. The armed robbery that happened in Edo State yesterday was one that that claimed the lives of about 6 people yesterday. It was in the papers. And the clips that came out from that experience was quite scary. Watch this. Viewer discretion is kindly advised.
My God. Yeah, man. God. Yes, sir.
See you, God. See you. See Chacha cars when they carry coming. See as people they carry money. See as people they carry money. Now the red Corolla, 9 money due.
Well, that was quite shocking. And what is even more shocking is that there was a police station allegedly close by and nothing happened. So on the phone with us now is the Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, retired Honorable Marcus Onobon, who will be joining us to explain to us what the government plans to do following this horrible, horrific experience. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Okay, I'm told he's yet to connect. All right, so guys, I don't know. I don't know. When I watched this thing, I kept watching and it's almost as if somebody, it was like an invasion also, you know,
Yeah,
how
like
they did it. They did it with the community watching, people recording. They had guns, AK-47s, and they were bringing bags. They blew up
the doors.
Blew up the
simultaneously done across different banks.
Was it simultaneous? I didn't know. I thought it was just
4 banks. No, it erupted 4 banks. It is worrisome. It is scary. I was not there, and yet I felt like this traumatized, but I was scared. I was scared for Nigeria. I was scared as a Nigerian that I'm in Nigeria and this kind of thing can happen in our country. And I really, my heart goes out to all those who lost family members and even those that saw it, because definitely there's an impact in their mind based on what they just experienced.
So I'm told that Right Honorable Marcus Honorable is back with us. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning. Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Now, this happened. I mean, bank robbery, I would say, is something that many countries and many communities go through. But the difference between theirs and ours is that is a response time, the ability of the police to react, the ability of the police to contain. What happened yesterday, sir? And what does the government plan to do going forward?
Well, what happened yesterday came to us as a rude shock. It's what one could best describe as an invasion. And with what we have seen, the pictorial evidence and some videos that have been around on social media, is quite unfortunate. And I want to first commiserate with the family of those who lost their life, the people of the community, as well as the staff of the various financial institutions that were affected. Well, as for the issue of the security, with what I saw, even though we've not been properly briefed on what actually happened, from what we saw yesterday, you could see that the security, they were overwhelmed. And it's quite unfortunate that such an incident will be carried out or happened without any formal intelligence to the various security agencies, because I don't think that such an action was just planned overnight. Because you have these criminals numbering over 20 with various vehicles and all sophisticated weapons, and all of that. So, and also considering the location of that, the financial institution and the area, yes, it is quite porous because we have boundary with Delta states. And of course, there are some other routes to some riverine, the Ilushi area where we have the River Niger. However, we must now be talking about how to forestall future, occurrence of these incidents. So myself and His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, will be visiting the scene today to get first-hand information as to what really happened and how to curtail future occurrence. So it's quite unfortunate, and it's so scary. The government at all levels, whether local government, state government, or even federal government, have to take some decisive steps to see that issues like this don't happen, because with what happened yesterday, I can tell you that no one is safe. No one is safe anywhere.
Okay, wow. As you said, this is, Honorable, this is really shocking. And it is important to do all that we can to make sure this doesn't happen again. But while we're doing that, what the next best thing we can do for those who have been affected, who are involved, for their families, is to do a proper investigation. So for me, on this part of the, watching it, I feel that the police or security operatives already have a lot to go on with. We have videos. You could almost see the bodies of those who have done it, We saw the vehicles that were being driven away from there. But I hope also that scene has not been contaminated with many people running in and out. Because usually we would see in other countries, they'll cordon off the place. So is the state doing a proper investigation concerning this right now? So at least we can catch the people that have done it and be prosecuted accordingly.
Of course, security work entails so many strategies. The good thing is that at least we have some pictorial evidence and videos to show that actually shows what transpired yesterday. And like I said, we'll be visiting the scene this afternoon to get first-hand information, as well as meeting with the security agencies, those who were on ground, and to get eyewitness report as to what happened. I want to believe with what we have in place, the security architecture that is set up in place in the States, even though the incident has happened, it's unfortunate, but we will be able to, track these people down as well, as bringing them to justice. So that these people will be caught is no doubt at all. Because you can't even have such a number coming to carry out a criminal act and you'll not be able to track them. It may be a matter of time, but I can assure you that these people, in no distant time, they will be tracked down.
All right. Let me just throw in one quick question for you.
Yeah, so I like the fact that you mentioned the security architecture in the place. We were told, according to the papers this morning, that one of the banks was situated close to a police station, and these people had a field day of operating for over 3 hours, and there was no police in sight.
Correct.
How equipped is this police? The police stations around, how equipped are they? How is your security architecture in such a way that they are not able to, render help? That's the problem we have. So when these sort of things happen, we don't get that response.
Police dodge.
So
okay, well, for the local government where this thing happened, Eastern Northeast is one of the most populous local governments we have in Edo Central. And they have a standard police station, so we expect that they have all the required equipment. From what we are told, I've not confirmed, is that the police station was also attacked. So these are part of the investigation that we, the security agency, have to carry out, because there are so many questions that, that is begging for an answer, to know who are those who, conspired to see that this attempt to raid the people was successful. We also need to know how those people got into town, that the security agency was unable to pick on them and they drove freely and all of that. So these are questions that are begging for an answer. And like I said, the investigation will commence in no time.
Right.
And within the next few days, I'm sure that we'll come out with a report to actually show, because from what we have on ground, we don't expect that kind of a thing to happen within that area at all.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable. We appreciate you. We'll continue to monitor this story. This is something that, many of us have watched foreign movies. I know this is not Hollywood, it's not Nollywood, but usually when things like that happen, there's a button you press somewhere to alert the police, somewhere behind. Okay, before they've blown up your door, the first thing you do is press the emergency button. The emergency button alerts the police, the nearest police, that something is happening here, and then they radio each other. So in a country where the police are ill-equipped, they probably don't have vehicles, so even though you press the button, they won't have enough to contain. Yes. So it's a ripple effect of the fact that the police are poorly equipped for the job they're asked to do. We don't have enough numbers also. We have less than 500,000 police across the country. So when people steal money, when you steal money that's meant for the police, is that ripple effect that we see today? It happens. Eventually, you don't have money to equip the police. The police are not able to respond in this kind of situation. It's just, let's go on a break. It's Friday. It's Friday, people. Let's find a celebrity to bring on and talk about life. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria, on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All Tim and plays? VCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us on the set, about time, is a beautiful Nigerian actress, film producer, television media personality with several awards to her name. Please welcome with us Mona Lisa Chinda.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank
Why
you.
do you look like a shy Libby? You're not shy.
I'm shy.
You're not shy. You're not shy. We see you, your elements. You're not shy. But before we even get into your interview or what you're doing, you know, there's this influencer that was saying something that was quite interesting and we thought was worth discussing. He said that this generation is one of the most hopeless ever. Hopeless, that's a strong word.
Very strong.
He says all they care about is sex, vibes, and free money. Once you find someone that offers you more with strong value, try your best to keep them. So what you're saying in essence is that many young people really don't have the essence of substance, you know, for real values. All they care about is the fast money, music, entertainment, sex, and parties. And interestingly, I don't want to use this example. I went somewhere, you know, and they were having a serious conversation. When the serious conversation starts, everybody just looking like, when the entertainment starts, they jump on, you think they know all the words, and you're thinking, goodness me, can you even spell your name? I mean, with all due respect. I mean, because they all they think about is music, the money, how, you know, and that's why even though, yes, politicians have lied to us many years, but no matter what the politician, even if a true politicians come forward, the average Nigerian will say, now money, it's only money he wants. You know, you don't even trust because we are totally blinded by this thing called money.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Let me start with the ladies before I come to Mona Lisa on this.
Okay.
What's the issue?
I don't believe anybody is empty or born empty. We are all gifted, talented. We all came with a package. We all have a purpose here. But the only difference is some people have not learned how to apply their own. Some people have not learned how to find what they have. And this still boils down to us. What are some of the things that we are modeling for them? So I remember when I was in the university, very early, all I wanted to do was party. The age. Party, go to class, don't even pay attention with my full mind, you know, come back, cook, hang out and all that. Till I met somebody who looked at me and said, you are too brilliant to play on this level, and helped me to understand who I was. And that sort of helped me position myself. Also, I had a friend in the university, Anne, she's in the UK now, just got married. She loved to go for inaugural lectures in different departments. It doesn't have to be her department. She was my close friend. And then she would drag me, let's go and learn something. There's something you're learning. So the people that I met and I hung out with changed how I saw things, and I started paying attention to the gifts that I have. The question is, what are we modeling to these young ones? We will not expect them to just, hold on please, expect them to just wake up and just find their way around life. We need to have people who they are looking up to, who will show them the right way. And probably you see that because everybody is talented.
All right, so I mean, thank you for that angle, because that makes a whole lot of sense. But you see, you didn't have social media, so you had an aunt who was there to say, okay, let's go to Negro lecture.
I had beauty pageants. No, I was strutting from city to city, contesting for beauty pageants, going for fashion modeling. So I still had my own, in my own bubble at the time, I still have a sort of social media, not like this, but I had my own that would have distracted me.
Okay, the point I am making, the point I'm trying to make is that when you talk about modeling, modeling means that you see something and you like to replicate. So you had an aunt who can say, go to inaugural lectures. You also want to be a model, fine. But the young people, what they are faced with today is everybody, Mona Lisa's page, Shiobi's page, Tokwe's page, everybody's page. Some are dancing naked, some are flirting billions of naira, some are bringing cars. It is all so much in their faces. Now the point is, should we stop these celebrities from being who they want to be because they are influencing these guys negatively? Or should we say, raise our children in a way that close your eyes to these things? And I mean, how do we raise your kids when there's so many celebrities throwing things of modeling things to us?
Mariah, you're so right about the fact that there's just so much now to contend with, constantly in your face. Because I remember when we were growing up, there was a time that television would come on. And the hours that it would come on, the earlier hours would be child-friendly, you know, content, you know. And if we were lucky enough, we were old enough, like I remember when I got to primary 3, my mom insisted I watch the 9 o'clock news. I felt like an adult, like, whoa, now I can watch 9 o'clock news. You know, it was, so that was what helped, you know, raise me and molded me until, you know, you now get into university. But by then, at home, they've done the groundwork. By the time you get into university, even though these pressures come here and there, you still go back to who you truly are. But here now we have the fact that you wake up in the morning and you can choose from a myriad of channels what to watch. Even the children, they have the cartoon that helps them. They have the ones that tell them only about singing and dancing, the one that tells them about, you know. So there's just so much to contend with. So the work is now on us, the nuclear family, the small family, the father and the mother, and maybe if you're lucky, an auntie and an uncle, to do the job of protecting our children from how much that they receive right now. Our schools do need to do the job of, you know, protecting their minds. I know now when we argue, we say, oh, this is the new world. Things are going fast now. But the truth is going fast because you're letting it go fast. If you're teaching children to take it slow, to watch certain things, the world would slow down. It's because we're doing much more. Now, concerning modeling, I agree with that part because many times it's so easy for the older generation to call out the younger generation. But the truth is that the younger generation did not fall from heaven. It came, that generation got here, saw a generation before them, what they were doing, what they celebrated, what they thought was important, and decided to do even better. So when you blame the present generation, you have to look at yourself. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What are you saying? What are you celebrating?
What did you say? Fantastic. I'll come to you, Mona Lisa, in a second. We saw, in this kind of influence that we saw countries like China, India, control their spaces. They have their own WhatsApp, they have their own various social media platforms where it's almost as if they can control what they, because I don't know, I'm just guessing. Maybe they got to this point where, listen, Western content is affecting our children.
much.
So maybe at that point, at that moment, that's when they now said, the way we're doing Twitter, they have their own Twitter where they can control, they have a bit of control. If they tried this in Africa, do you even think it makes sense? Because have we gotten to the point where we must control the content our children are watching?
Okay, so we are shaped by what we consume, physically, mentally. What you eat affects how you look. What you consume intellectually affects how you think and how you behave. The cause and effects factor. So if you want to change the effect, you change the cause. You change what feeds the system, you change the results you would get. So if we are seeing the results in our society right now, and we believe that is not working for us, then we change the things that feed our society. There was a time in developed countries, I read a book about how the US wanted to get young boys to go into military. And then they deliberately started doing movies. They paid Hollywood to produce movies that portrayed young men that go for movies as patriots, as protecting the free country. And many people were enlisting by themselves. What they did was to control what will feed the minds of the people. I think that we are getting to the point where we realize if we want to change the results we're seeing in our children, we need to change what is feeding our children. What feeding our children is social media, TV, music industry. Movies. All of these needs to be deliberately, like, you need to program the mind, because when you are unconscious, your mind is still being programmed. Yeah. So can we now be more deliberate about programming right? So the guy's comment is right, and I'm happy that we have Mona Lisa here.
Mona Lisa, let me now come to you. So he's saying that it's hopeless, that our children today are hopeless. All they think about is sex, money, free money, vibes, music, you know. That's all they're doing. What are your thoughts based on all the ladies have already laid down here?
So basically the word here is control. No matter how we want to look at it, the word here is control. And another word is discipline. We, as a country and as a people, we're not paying attention to a lot of things. Also, we know that the economy has really made things so difficult for a lot of us, even for the younger ones coming. So for them, in their head, in their mind, sex sells. In their head, in their mind, nudity sells. And then we have a social media that is not controlled. Yes. Everything just goes out. They see things, they fit, you know. Let me bring it home. For instance, my child, I only have one daughter. I don't have another one. So you can imagine all my attention on that. And sometimes she feels pressured. I control everything. From the Wi-Fi in my home, everything is censored. I'm sorry, that's just, I have to, what they call it, not just that. My parents sort of brainwashed me. Even till now, there are certain things I don't know, but they exist. So I'll be saying, hey, is this how it is? So my friends will be like, you okay? You know, so I still believe that we can still do more on controlling. We need to control. The other countries are doing it. Africans will still
control. They will carry placard. You know, Elijah Muhammad when shut down Twitter the other day.
Not that kind of control. Okay. Not that sort of control. You know what? I don't want to go into details, but we need to begin to enforce because our young ones.
Yeah, I think the way we're running, the way society is running is like we're saying when you broadcast everything, when you show everything, so you're saying it's okay.
Yeah. And it's not
and when you broadcast it in a way that it doesn't show what the consequences may be, you're telling the next generation it's fine. You know how they always make fun of, then they'll say city girls would do something, but when the one that comes from the village does it, she'll do it even worse. Yeah. So that's what it is like for the older generation. We grew up seeing almost the two sides and the consequences, but by the time our children came, you know, by the time now that the next generation is here, they don't see what we have seen already. So they just see, you know, what we're celebrating, and they pick it up and do it even worse or even better than what we did. So it's important to understand control. What you mean by control is more you're saying, let's streamline it, let's guide them a certain way. Because now we can see that when you do not do this, we end up having materialistic people. We're talking about ritual killings
because
among teenagers.
Yes, and you can't even change.
Right,
you can't change a lot of things. But what you can do is have a mindset of the young people thinking right. You know, you can just balance everything. You can't just go out there and just be loose. Yes, we have loose content. But once you're disciplined, you think there are no other content that you and I can't go and just watch on social. It was what you choose to watch. So if you can,
and they're constantly choosing wrong. How do you get them to choose right?
Yeah. So, but that is the discipline I'm talking about. And then that is just me speaking.
Some of us are enlightened enough to see this problem and understand what we can begin to do in our various homes and communities to change it. The majority of parents out there are not that enlightened. So how do we begin to educate them? So because they are in that poverty-stricken state of mind, all they want is to, what can we get? You see parents telling their children, is it not your friend that the boyfriend bought a car for? Is this not this that this is happening to? This one will say, I just started acting today. I bought a mansion in so and so place. And everybody's, that is where the money is. And all the girls want to act. And then you start, you do row 1, row 2, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. And you're realizing, what is happening?
How would I get
There's somebody now meets you to say, there's another thing we can do to make money.
Small girl,
so
big God.
we come constantly on social,
Small girl, big God.
Constantly on social media, portraying the fake life because we want to make it. And these kids pick up on the fake life thinking it is real. We're not showing enough work. We're not showing enough process. We're not showing how we struggled till we get it. And they'll say, no, me, if you struggled for 20 years before you blow, me, I cannot wait for 2 years. My head is different and all that. So how do we begin to educate those people? Because they are in the majority.
Yes.
They are.
The enlightened ones are few. The other people are in the majority. Because the truth is, now they say, God, they train the king. We finish all this one, speak all this English and foundation in our homes. Our children will go to school and meet those people. And we're here constantly praying, how would they relate? Will they be able to find their way back? So how do we encourage these other people who are just about survival, that life is more than this?
So I think we need to drown it. Let's drown it. Because this lifestyle of money, sex, and all that is so in your face that we don't have the corresponding good to drown it. So they are here, and this good is here. So what we need to, those of us that have the right mind, we need to get more good out there, and eventually to drown these guys out. So we need to do more.
But that's on one side, we can say we can try drowning out the noise, and we can also shut that's control.
Shutting down will be difficult because if we shut down, we won't get these Edo clips that we saw because social media is good and bad.
Yes.
So there's a good part of it where we get somebody can record. We have the citizen journalism.
Because you see, the truth is, if there wasn't any form of control on what we are broadcasting on terrestrial as well as everywhere, and there's a bit of control on that. I can't just come here and say, because I feel like I'm not going to wear. You see this curve where this curve ended. I want it to now end here. I don't have the right, even if I say I feel like, I can't just do what I feel like. There's an NBC code that controls how and what I do. So a society must be governed by rules, and the rules must be complied with.
Government tried to do it, remember, and we all objected to the social media regulation. We all objected.
Government didn't try to do it because there's a sincerity challenge. I do not believe that the government started the idea of social media control with the true intentions of protecting the interests of citizens. It came across more like protecting
themselves,
protecting the political class from being attacked or being criticized or being questioned.
What if we're wrong? It's speculative. That statement is speculative. You don't know.
It was reactionary. The movement was reactionary. What I would love to hear from our leaders is a case of we are having so many people committing ritualism. There's a lot of killing going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk to Facebook to shut down if any word carries to
close it
in any form. You are not allowed to mention or there are ways you censor it. It will not. The post will die. There are algorithms they can use. So if you are coming from that point of view to protect my interest as a citizen, I will listen to you. I will know that Lagos is shutting down a major road in Mariam's area, and we all know it will cause major inconvenience for everybody living in that area, but we all know it is for our good. So we will bear that pain, knowing it is for our good. So we need to start looking towards that line of...
Man, let me just jump in here. Want to add anything to that?
Well, I think she said it all. She said it all.
So we're going to wrap up with it. Yeah, go ahead, Mariam.
Yes, I was just going to say that there used to be a time, because now when you mentioned something about poverty, there used to be a time where being poor did not mean being vicious, being, it was sometimes even like virtues were associated with the fact that you didn't have material money. Because you didn't even have that, you paid attention to other things. You paid attention to your character. You know, so people who would come, people would even say, it would be nice to get married to someone from this sort of family because you know that they've done the work when it comes to their character. But now we have people who do not have material things and all they think of is how to get it, however they can get it. But my question now, I know we're supposed to be sort of giving answer, but my question is, what changed for those people? What made them start doing it differently?
Respect. No. You have the money, you get more societal respect and regard. You know, and so you that don't have anything, everybody wants that respect, and that's true. It's a fundamental need of every human being to be respected.
The basic standard of life wasn't given. So at the time, when they retired, they still had things that would keep them. They were not. The circle wasn't about if I get sick, I would die because I did not have medical care. There was still a form of support that we all give to each other. But right now, they realize that somebody can die of malaria just because they don't have money to buy medicine. And then you tell yourself, my mother died of this, my children will never die of this.
But please remember that then, if our mothers are sick, in fact, once they are older, once you get married, automatically they come into your house. Automatically. They start living with you. So the parents know. So the system that works for us as Africans. But enlightenment says, how can you bring your mother to live in my house? So we modern women don't want your mother to live in the house. So you check about your mother-in-law. But then they come and live with us because they assume that you feed us, you take care of us to the hospital, and when we pass it, yes, that was the African system. But now, we don't want them to stay in our house.
We still keep thinking that the Western ideas will work here. It's not working for us. It's destroying us in all sects, in all ramifications. So let's look inward. Let's go back. If we can.
Yoruba will say, something and tusha. Something only stand tusha. What was the word now? What's tusha?
The conversation we've just had.
Let's scatter the whole thing and start from scratch. Yes, let us tusha from the beginning. Let's go to a break. When we come back, I think we did a bit of justice to this topic. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll find out what Mona Lisa is working on. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All Tim in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All Tim in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
Ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ yìí.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ bí jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ ọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Any good news in there concerning my company?
Rex Limited challenged us to a friendly table tennis match today. I'm very sorry, but we have our fingers crossed.
Send a word to HR. I want admin to meet me up in the conference room immediately.
That's Mona Lisa in action.
Yeah.
The class. So what have you been up to? Acting. You know, I see your picture. I follow you very closely on social media. I love the pictures. I love what you're working on. But tell us about, let Nigerians know what you're working on right now.
Well, at the moment, what I'm concerned about is trying to bring about live performance theater for now. But that's not to say that I'm not actively doing the screen work. But for now, it's all about theater. It's all about trying to bring new plays to showcase everywhere in Nigeria. That part is, even though it's slowly being embraced again,
yes.
We want to see how we can take it to another level, going forward from this year to whenever. So we want to establish that, especially in the South-South. Especially in the South-South. We don't have anything like that in the South-South.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
do you make money from theatre? Because I know one of the things that discouraged a lot of people from going in is it doesn't make as much as the movie.
No, it doesn't make as much because it's capital intensive. Because all shows are expensive, so we keep asking not necessarily the government now, individuals, theatre enthusiasts who love the arts to come together to see how they can begin to sponsor more plays.
Okay. Why though? What is the message you're trying to send through theatre?
So I'm sure you all grew up watching live theatre.
Yes. Yeah.
What was it like for you then? I grew up watching theatre in Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
Going to the theatre, movie theatre to watch live plays. I loved it.
Yeah.
I grew up that way, and Port Harcourt was a city where people would always want to go out to watch live plays, comedy, sitcoms, and stuff like that. It's all lost, and it was some sort of an escape for a lot of families then. But a lot of things happened. We had the militancy, we had all of that in the South, all of that, wasn't.
So I know that, like you said, I know that Ms. Bolanle Austin Peters literally, when she started pioneering and pushing for terror culture in Lagos, the movie, the stage plays have died down, but they brought it back, and now
and she's been consistent with it.
So we need that.
Yes, we need that. We
level
need
of sponsorship
right.
to bring it also to.
So is there a theater in Port Harcourt, or we're just about to build a theater, or just going to?
We have theaters in Port Harcourt, but it's just not used. It's underutilized. Yes, it's underutilized.
They work with the government to do this, or just private?
No, we work with private, like an agency. We have Yubokoko, who is sitting on the development, River State Development Agency. He's already doing stuff with few plays and, Seki and all of that. And they're doing something that's coming up pretty much soon. It's called Rex Cardinal.
Are you going to be there?
By the special grace of God, yes.
Nice.
I'd love to be there. I'm going to be there. So these are the things we're trying to build in the South region. And you don't want to know the sort of talents we have. Young people are hungry.
They are
hungry to showcase what they have. There's no
platforms.
There are no platforms.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of stage. You can
that's
have
the
more
beauty
people.
of stage, yes. And you're able to control finances. But unlike movie where you have to go through all sorts of hurdles, you have to find a platform to market, you have to do this, you have to do that. But for stage, you're able to control the little...
So you need philanthropists out there who have money. There are lots of people who have money, but they don't even know where to use
That's right. They don't know what to do with it.
So we need more of these platforms.
Exactly.
So how do you plan to combine the theatre since you're not leaving the movies? And if you get roles, how do you plan to juggle it? They're quite...
So, no, not really. Filming is a certain period of time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're done.
You're done, okay.
So, yes, it's easy for me to combine both. But for stage plays, you have to get the artists, you have to rehearse for a period of time. Like when we just finished Philomena, we rehearsed for like a month, and that's because it was deliberate. We had to get people who were already theatre grounded to begin to bring their memories back on.
My worry is that when these plays come, they come and go. Like you had Saro the musical, you had all this all these big ones. The fella,
because it's capital intensive.
Abroad, you have Les Miserables going for years. They still have in Chicago, it's still running on the
people still patronize live shows. We here in Nigeria. Well, it's a wake-up call for everybody. We need to actually begin to we have to start to engage people. Yeah, people have to come and support.
So let us know when you're going to be airing so that we can tell people to come and support.
So Philomena, we just finished in Port Harcourt, which was written and directed by Bimbo Manuel. We intend to do more of. We want to tour with it. It's a story that is relatable. You are a Philomena, she's a Philomena. Even all of this, we had a Wesley and an area who is Wesley was a field journalist, and then area had all the PhDs and ended up teaching primary school children.
Wow.
So we're talking about unemployment. We're talking about the ills of the society. So we want to tour with Philomena. I want to see if we can bring it to Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, and Ibadan for now. So we're working.
Really appreciate sponsor.
Yes.
Loving the project.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask about her daughter.
Yes. I think we even need to bring you back to talk about, because there's an issue I think is so perfect for you. I won't say it on TV, but we'll talk to you about it. I think it would need to bring you back on the show to discuss it.
Please. All
right.
Love to.
That is
Thank
all
you.
we can take. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Bye for now.